I've spent the last 10 days forcing myself to write a romantasy novel. Yesterday, I discussed my usage of the term theme and what it meant to my story on a broad level. We narrowed in on the dangerous temptation of the godlike power of industry and how it can convince people to believe that they themselves are godlike. But my characters don't know shit about that. Yasmina and Tillman are not in the slightest motivated by a desire to humble those trying to play God. Hell, they don't even know that's happening behind the scenes, which it definitely is. And that brings me to a second definition of theme that I want to be using as part of my foundation: the emotional logic by which the protagonist either defeats or is defeated by the antagonist. I can effectively call this a character arc, but all the individual arcs will play out differently. Whereas what I'm talking about here is a mostly collective idea. Going off what we said last time, we can add a common element that affects the core urges of all of our characters, which is something that I never really brought up much when presenting the characters to you, so I should probably go into those now. Due to everyone around her being too weak to oppose their enemies, Yasmina has internalized an urge to exert power on her surroundings. For her, this does not manifest physically because, let's be honest, she's not that much of an athlete. She attains power instead through diplomacy, intimidation, leverage. Her aggression is strategic and indirect. It's all charisma throws, baby. But this urge is a general urge. It is not applied only when it is needed. It is also applied when it is not needed because it's such a core part of her person. She feels the need to wield power over those closest to her as much as she does her enemies. Because what else is she gonna do? Trust them to protect themselves? Tillman's core urge originates in fear. While his desire for vengeance is born out of anger to a certain degree, it's also born out of a desire to understand why what happened happened. He throws away his life to seek out the truth of who framed his uncle, and it shows itself everywhere in his life. The only way for him to feel safe is if he is more competent and more knowledgeable than those around him. Tillman's metallurgy is not just an art or a method of expression for him. That is a skill that if he has more mastery over than anyone else, he is safe. Of course, both these characters have other urges and other facets of their personality, but they are both trying to exert control over their environments. Something they both, in different ways, have to let go of. So, in opposition to these two, I know what my antagonists have to do. They need to be desperate for control as well, and they need to never let go.